Centralia is located in south-central Illinois, approximately 250 miles south of Chicago. The city was chartered in 1859, taking its name from the Illinois Central Railroad, along whose tracks it was built. Today, three main lines converge on downtown: the Canadian National, the BNSF, and the Norfolk Southern. Today's Canadian National is the former Illinois Central, which arrived in 1853. North of town at Branch Junction, the IC split into lines heading to Galena and Chicago, with the line to Chicago developing into the primary main line. In 1887, the Louisville, New Albany, and St. Louis arrived at Centralia from the east and completed its line to St. Louis in 1890. The Jacksonville and St. Louis Railroad arrived in Centralia in 1883, terminating with a yard and a connection with the IC south of downtown. In 1904, the Chicago, Burlington, and Quincy bought the Jacksonville and St. Louis and began building south into the southern Illinois coal fields in 1910. Ironically, Centralia's first railroad to dieselized was the last one to host steam. The Southern Railway began operating steam excursions in 1966, and several of the Southern's restored locomotives passed through Centralia. By 1988, the Illinois Central Gulf had reverted to the Illinois Central name, and a new black paint scheme was introduced. First eastbound number 111 is led by a trio of GP35s and a GP38-2, two of them still in Southern Railway paint. By the late 80s, the Southern Illinois coal industry had all but disappeared. The Burlington Northern still hosted mostly coal trains, but they were almost exclusively eastbound from the Powder River Basin. 3,000 horsepower, 6-axle locomotives were the order of the day. Norfolk Southern bought the Illinois Central Route to Birmingham, Alabama from the ICG in 1987. For several years, St. Louis to Birmingham trains 123 and 124 operated over the Illinois Central between Centralia and Fulton, Kentucky. Here is number 123 taking to the IC in February 1989. Into the 21st century, northbound trains passing Ashley called Centralia's B-yard operator for permission through the yard limits. Temperatures were hovering a few degrees above zero on a January afternoon as we passed through the Centralia yard. In 1999, the Illinois Central was merged into the Canadian National Railway. For the first several years of the merger, the flavor of the IC remained, even as the new owner's presence became more evident. Of the railroads passing through Centralia, the Norfolk Southern changed the least as the new millennium dawned. The cabooses had disappeared and the locomotive fleet was modernized, but it was still the same old NS. An eastbound empty coal train rolls into town. Burlington Northern merged with the Santa Fe to form BNSF in 1996, and the image of the new company was prevalent by 2003. One more view of the former Illinois Central facilities at Centralia from the rear of a northbound Amtrak train in the spring of 2003 brings Part 1 to a close. Within a few years, the Centralia yard would be downgraded, as all but local switching was consolidated at Champaign. The car shops would be closed, and following storm damage would be torn down altogether. As of 2021, the remnant of the roundhouse remains. In Part 2, we visit Centralia in the spring of 2021. On a rainy April 24th, a northbound empty CN oil train passes through town. On April 29, 2021, we brought 3 camera crews to capture the action at Centralia. Leading things off was a northbound BNSF coal train. This train shoved onto the CN main from the BNSF yard before changing direction and heading out of town. Amtrak 390, the northbound Saluki, is the morning train from Carbondale to Chicago. It makes its scheduled stop in Centralia at 8:23 a.m. Another empty coal train rolls through town on the BNSF. Coal traffic is down considerably from its peak in 2012, but we were filming on a busier day than usual. A pair of icy SD70s lead A408 into town. Finally, the sun has come out. The BNSF local arrives from Paducah, bringing our look at Centralia to a close. While traffic may be down in an era of declining coal and precision-scheduled railroading, Centralia, Illinois remains a railfan hotspot and is perhaps the busiest location in the southern third of the state.